Oh man, good times, good times, and a trip to Texas too, baby, baby, baby. We got some good times, man. And most importantly, y'all already know it's about to be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does! And that might be the knockout
Greetings, salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here, and let me make sure I fix my little thing here. You know, sometimes stuff goes a little wonky. You just got to make sure you got it straight. But look, we are here. We're going to talk about some of the things that are happening, going on about FAMU athletics. But most importantly, this upcoming trip to Houston. I'm going to talk about those things. Also, talk about this volleyball team as well as the tennis team. So, got a few things going on here. We're gonna hold off on recruiting for just a little second. You know, y'all got some stuff in Texas coming, so we're gonna make sure we highlight those things and kind of talk about that as we get ready. But man, the tennis team, they are at the ITA tennis event here. Started today in Gainesville, and it's gonna go on for a few days. I'm just gonna leave it at this. I, for one, am definitely hopeful and for a good season. So I know that's not the lead for everyone to talk to all the time, but I will definitely own it that I'm liking what I'm seeing so far out of FAMU tennis. And yeah, and you see me looking over here, my sign in is acting weird. So for the Fangs Up Twitter page. So we'll get it straight though. We'll get it straight. But in the meantime, and we may just have to upload that later. We also got FAMU volleyball, man. And if you're not familiar, FAMU volleyball, it's at that point in the season where you kind of got to get it in, and you got to win. Like it's one of those things where it's winning you're in, losing you fall so much further back from the rest of the competition. That's a real problem. Like you literally have to win in the state of Alabama. And we saw where last season, where that was really a turning point in the season. And that was one of the reasons FAMU was really able to beat Alabama State as far as winning the conference championship. Like it was one of those things that, if not for that, really that series and for that whole situation there, like maybe you don't get as far as you would have gotten had you not won it. So, you know, just me thinking out loud that that may have been something that got fixed and got rectified. So, um, could be. Anyways, so but volleyball this week we have Alabama State, then we have Alabama A&M, and that's the weekend, y'all. But the thing is, with this, you got a player of the week, Iani Sanford. But then in the standings, you're currently in third place. So as a fan, as a team, it's an important game. It's an important series. And it's really an important win just for the ability of the program to really just keep up and be where it needs to be. Like that's where you need to be. It's where you want to be. So, we're gonna get you there though. We're gonna be pulling for y'all, and we're gonna be at some of the games. So cool. But look, FAMU's doing a little Texas two-step, and some fun things are going on, man. Like, I definitely got to give it up to the Rattlers that are going to be in Texas and that are already there, baby. Y'all been doing some things, man, and I can't help but applaud y'all and celebrate you. But you have some definite things that are going well already. Let me pull up some of them right fast. The Twitter page is acting weird, so that's why it looks like I'm kind of distracted. It was fine. Then the show started, and then I was like, "Oh, it doesn't want to work." Such is life. But let me see if I can get this straight. Here we go. So if you hadn't followed FAMU's National Alumni Association on Twitter, they got the We Outside Houston weekend of events starting today. Welcome to H Town is really the big thing. Like that's where it's starting off. Friday, you got Set Friday. Saturday, you got a tailgate, which what is special about this is if you're not familiar, they don't have really a tailgate, designated tailgate area at the stadium. You kind of got to go here to tailgate. Also, you got the celebration, little post game something, and a little something on Sunday too. So a lot of good things, a lot of fun going on. Like if you're a FAMU fan, you really don't want to miss some of this. And if you're already there, share with a friend. Tell them to follow the Fangs Up podcast, FQ FAMU Twitter page, Fangs Up Twitter page. Y'all know we do a little bit of everything. So we out there though. And look, we outside Houston. That's the thing y'all got going on this week. Not gonna be there this week, but definitely I'm there in spirit. Now, when it comes to this game, and we ain't gonna take overly too long. I'm not gonna kill your time too much. This game against Texas Southern, it's important because this is your week. If you're a FAMU fan, the game's on ESPN, ESPN U, ESPN 3, sorry, ESPN 3, or ESPN Plus for the less old, but ESPN Plus. And this is the game where you're getting a chance to be on primetime TV. You are really one of the few games in town this week. And when I say in town, I mean relative to the Southwestern Athletic Conference, less about actual like city. Like city-wise, it's going to be nuts. Like if you ain't got your transportation plan set up, man, it's you better than a lot of other people. Because personally, I ain't gonna say what my students would say, but I would have my stuff ready. Like you can already see the slate of games. It's only 4. Jackson State at Valley, Alcorn at UAPB, Southern at Cookman, but that's in Jacksonville, and FAMU at Texas Southern. And so last week, Texas Southern played Cookman, and the game was actually like closer than a lot of you would probably think. It was just one of those games where you're thinking like, Cookman shouldn't do as well. And then they almost won. Now, granted, Texas Southern still spoils their homecoming, but it still was a game where you probably want to keep an eye on that one. And if you want a game to replay and rewatch, I know a lot of y'all are, if you're from Florida, you're about to watch the Jaguars play. I hope they win. But go watch the Texas Southern at Grambling game. There's like a 40-minute video where you don't have to watch the entire 3-hour game that is pretty much clipped up. It's well done. Like whoever clipped it, I'm going to give you a credit. You did a good job because the other video I watched, it was like a 10-minute highlight video from the State Fair Classic. Got nothing from it, largely because Texas Southern's missing their quarterback. Andrew Body's not going to be playing this game. He's sitting out for the rest of the season, which is probably for the best. But also, to me, I'm just going to say, it's a red flag. Like, I'd be surprised he stays there. Like, he's pretty solid as a quarterback. Like, probably going in the next year, potentially the most dynamic quarterback coming back next year if he decides to come back to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Don't be surprised that transfer portal do something. I'm just saying, I'm gonna leave it there. You take it how you feel, but that's just my take on it. Within that, when you're watching Texas Southern's offense, it's spreading. Like you see reminiscences of the air raid in there, but you're going to notice their quarterback and their receivers, and stood out to me immediately. Their receivers are pretty solid, and they do bail out the quarterback, but the quarterback's not very tall. He's like 5'11". That's what they gave him. That's not me. But you're also going to notice he's not always accurate. Like that's a big problem. Like when you're a quarterback, you need to be accurate. And you're gonna have some questions that come up with the Texas Southern offense. Most notably for me, as somebody's watching, FAMU's defensive line. Like, what is FAMU's defensive line gonna do against this team? I think they're gonna do pretty well, if I'm being honest. Like, I really think you're in a situation where you're playing a team that's really overmatched at the key positions. And you saw some of that in the Cookman game, actually. Like, I was watching that game and actually cheering for him. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, if I'm a FAMU fan, which I am, I got a lot of hope. Like, and I got a lot of encouragement. And the biggest thing I definitely saw was that Texas Southern's defense got some holes. But offensively, you got to be careful. Like those receivers, they can get hot. But again, the line is always where the game is won. And that's what we're going to say. That's where we're going to stay on that one. I think FAMU's defensive line, healthy defensive line, got a couple of days off, got a little break. That's something you got to think about. And I think if you start to look at this game, this is going to be where the game is won. Can FAMU's defense, can they contain this quarterback? Because when you watch, he's very mobile. He definitely gives a little option vibe to me as far as what he can run. They do run the read option. They have their quarterback hand off to the running back, obviously from the read option. But you also saw where within the confines of the offense, it helps open up what they want to do, which is really spread out the football field. Like you can see 4 and 5 receiver sets across the board. It's just a very spread out offense that we saw, especially against Grambling and then even against Cochran. But you saw where, look, Jones High stand up. Sparrow was all over the field making tackles. I would not be surprised if you see that out of Major. But I'm also intrigued to see will FAMU utilize some of the spy, like defensively. Are you going to bring, Jordan Moore in, let him kind of play that linebacker spy hybrid? Just some of the questions that I'm going to ask. Is Chaney going to be able to get comfortable in there? Because they throw the ball a lot. And I think one of the things that if you're FAMU's defense that you could benefit from is rotating players, not just on the line, but also at the linebacker position, because this team does like to spread the ball out. And we've seen where the question at times for FAMU's defense has been the secondary. How good is the secondary? Can they make the plays? And I'll be honest, my questions aren't so much with the secondary. We do get mossed. That's going to happen every once in a while. But really, when it comes to the secondary, it's after you get to cornerback number 1 and cornerback number 2, what do 3, 4, 5 look like? Like the 3rd, 4th, 5th guys in that secondary, those guys who may not be as accustomed to playing, how do they respond? Because one of the things Texas Southern put on film was they ran it's like a screen. It's a receiver screen, but it's not a screen, if that makes sense. So it was a halfback draw. And with that motion, the quarterback could either hold the ball or throw the ball to the screen. That's a question, because if you can catch a corner looking in the backfield, all of a sudden you can do a double move, or you start creating things that make you start to put the defense, especially corners that are susceptible to being beat, in positions to where they can be taken advantage of. And we've seen that. We saw that against Jackson State, that long touchdown they scored. We saw that against Alabama State too. Like FAMU's secondary gave up quite a bit of yards. The running game is dead. Like I just, if you're a Texas Southern fan, unless you get some huge runs, that thing's dead on arrival. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, just saying, just like how the feed just woke up, that FAMU defense is up. Like, it's not a thing. And so that's one of the things that looking at the game and kind of looking at some of the, film. Like, I do look at film. I'm a nerd. It's some of the things you notice, but you also start to realize, especially when you're watching the film, man. And I'm gonna finish on their offense. That they do try to run the ball. They're just not very good at it, and I don't think they're going to be good at it in this game either. Not when you're facing the best defensive line in the conference, and the best defensive line in the conference that's coming off of a bye week. That's going to be a problem. Now on the other side, and if we're going to break this down, I'll go position by position. When it comes to Texas Southern's offense, oof, yeah. Let's slide on to the defense. We're gonna go position by position. Try to make sure I remember that. Excuse me. Defensively, they ran a good amount of zone, and they do run this 3-2-6 defense, which at first, because I was like, that's not a 3-3-5. Like it looks like if you play the old NCAA games, you're like 3-3-5 stack, but it's that 3-3-5 when you sat up there and you were like, I'm gonna sub a linebacker in for this safety. I'm going to put this, like, it's that little bit of tweak. So instead of having that 3 down linemen, 3 down linebackers, it's that weird little spell package that you did when you were like moving over, where 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then a safety. And the safety kind of moves around a lot. And you saw when you were watching their defense that they ran a lot of zone. They try to keep things in front of them. They do run press, bump, and run at times. But one of the biggest things that they did, they ran a lot of zone, and they challenged the quarterback to beat them. And this is honestly, I think this is where Texas Southern has an advantage over FAMU, because sometimes we just get stubborn about calling the pass plays. Also, we don't always do a great job of running the ball, and you're missing your best tackle in Goss, Gross, your best tackle, which that's a problem. Like, because all of a sudden you're going to sub him in, and it's something that's going to be there, especially if you're just trying to throw the ball. But whoa, Nelly, defensively, it's kind of like when you see that 3-3-5, especially you know a little bit about football. The first thing you start thinking about is, we are going to run the ball. And that's exactly what they were doing. Like this season, Texas Southern has been getting gashed in the run game. And I'm not saying that, just out of my orange and green spirit. No, y'all know I argue with data. Like just like, folks like to say I got a bunch of wins with Division II teams. I got a few. Most of my wins are actually the ones that are non-FBS or FCS, whatever, or FBS versus FCS. But we'll leave that there. Let me try to get the picks right though. Let me try to get y'all ready for that. But in this game, man, it's gonna be interesting because Texas Southern has been getting gashed in the run game. Against Prairie View, they gave up 180 yards. Granted, the quarterback's a little more mobile than Musa. And if you go back and listen to the 220 Club in the meeting, they definitely, asked, hey, what's up with Musa? What's going on with that? And, why is he mobile? Why is he not mobile? This is one of those games. I don't need mobile Musa. Like, y'all know, I be telling y'all, my quarterback's more mobile than you think he is. But this is one of those games. I don't need mobile Musa, not a lot. If it's there, take it. If it's not, meh. Just don't throw the ball in open space. They have 6 defenders in the back, like 6 guys that play in the secondary. Granted, their secondary, But still, what you'll start to notice is they're really challenging you to defeat the zone. Like it really is what it is. But they give a lot of rush yards against Grambling. They give 282 yards. It's almost 300 yards. And go back and watch the film. You're like, mm. I mean, even when you're watching the little expedited quick clips, you're like, man, Grambling just did they throw the ball? Like they did throw the ball, but how much? Hey, Miss Williams, look at you on the YouTube. Look at that. I appreciate it. But you start to see really quickly that Texas Southern's defensive line, that 335, and Coach Simmons pointed out, they got 300-pounders up there. The other guy's like 270. I'm just saying, yo, 300-pounders, we're going to say 3 versus my 5. The math ain't mathing. And running wise, my man. We'll mess with Dean Brown tomorrow, but my man, that ain't the move. And against Cookman hit 200 yards rushing. So you started to notice like these teams are really taking advantage of the fact that you can run the ball against Texas Southern. And so it's going to become imperative that we protect the ball because we've seen that when FAMU does not protect the ball and we get a few fumbles, you thought you was running the ball. Nah, you're not. Not gonna be today. Willie Simmons will shut that junk down. Soon as you start that fumbling, hold the ball high and tight. Like it's just one of those things. I think FAMU's running game, I'm just saying, I think we go over 225. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm looking at PV hitting a 180. Grambling with 280. Their quarterback runs. Cookman 202. Their quarterback runs a bit, but I'm just saying, they're running back. He did some damage too. Like, just go back and watch that game if you can. So I think FAMU, 3-headed monster. I think it can be a nice little 200 yard day. Ooh, Wayne, no letting go, no holding back. Look, he's telling the truth though. Their D line looks slow. It's like they got one lineman, like Buddy, like he 3-something, and you can tell it's not a gentle hunt. 300 pounds. He's a 300 pounds. You take that joke to the Golden Crowd, you'll want to. You might get cussed out. Go there to the Asian buffet, all you can eat, all you can buy. Like no, their defensive line does look slow. Wayne, look, you hit that nail on the head there. But then, honestly, man, I'm gonna take it past that, Wayne. And look, I'm from Florida. I'm a Florida boy. I play football. My students still mess with me. They're like, "You're the most athletic dean." I might be, but their defense looks slow as a whole. Like I'm not going to enter that Florida speed, Texas speed game with you today, just because I don't think Texas Southern's the elite team as far as in the state of Texas. Even between those two, Prairie View and Texas Southern, I think Prairie View is probably the better of the two. I think the results prove that. But at the same point, Texas Southern doesn't look fast. Like, go watch some of the film. Their secondary, I just told y'all. Yeah, that's that thing. You got something in the back of your mouth, like, either you faking like or, I don't see a lot in their secondary that made me think they were fast. I think some of the zone, and they run a lot of zone, is to hide the deficiency that they have, especially when it comes to speed. But the holes in the zone, oh man, they tight. This is why I honestly am saying I'm okay with Musa throwing the ball less than 20 times. I don't need a 300-yard day out of Musa in this game. Look, come on now. Somebody preach to the choir today. Film and stats don't lie. Look, they were a different team with Andrew Body. Once they lose Andrew Body, they lose a lot. And Honestly, this is one of those games where if you stick to the plan, and I don't know what the game plan is, so I'm not gonna sit up here and play that game with you. Now, I will say, for y'all people that did the strike tour, congratulations and kudos. I don't know how many of y'all saw. Look, I saw over $150,000 for like 4 areas. Make sure my math is mathing right. Yeah, I had $153,000. So good job on y'all strike tour people. But back to business. Texas Southern's secondary is not that impressive. And running wise, they missed tackles. Like, this is one of those teams and one of those games where you look at the backfield that FAMU has, you look at the talent that has been accumulated. This should be a game where we see Junior. I'm just saying, look, give me Junior in the fourth quarter and a 20-point lead. I'm just saying, I ain't gonna put your money on it. So you saw what I said, right? I wouldn't put your money on it. But what I would say is this. I heard Brian for ONG say it himself. I think FAMU could cover the spread in this. And as long as the spread is within 10 points, I got that. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just don't think FAMU gets so stubborn about throwing the ball that we don't realize that the throwing lanes are extremely tight. And that, being honest with you, secondary, especially FAMU secondary, look, 2 to me and 2 to you. Like, I need to pick. This guy's inaccurate. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. And if you on the flight right now watching, or you watch later, FAMU secondary, man, if y'all get 2 picks, buddy, that's what I'm talking about. I think FAMU secondary could easily come away with 2 picks, and this could be a game where FAMU's defense could easily be up with 4 or 5 turnovers. Like, just because the amount of pressure, the havoc that they can create. And not just that, let's just consider the travel differences. You know, we had Coach Johnson on here. And but yeah. Come on, man. FAMU's flying. Ain't no 12-hour drives, ain't no buses. You getting on a flight, and it's from Tallahassee to there and back. Like, I'm just saying. Like, you acting like the big boys. It ain't that, other stuff, Chitlin circuit, whatever you want to call it. No, we the big boys. Prime time Rattlers. Big game. Like, just pointing out. Yeah, Mr. LaTroy Johnson. Y'all know he was on the show. Had him on the pod. Told y'all they was flying. You're flying to this game. That's like a 2-hour flight. Man, the Rattlers gonna be so fresh. Like, only thing gonna slow them down is some brisket. I'm just saying. The brisket and the party is gonna be it. And look, unless you got Megan Thee Stallion in the stands throwing that whap at them, we're gonna be all right. I'm just saying, like, and I know when y'all slap the table, like, I know this man did. I said it. I said it and I meant it and I stand on it. I'm like Theotis. Real man stand up in it. Yeah, exactly. I did that. I said it. And I won't take it back. This should be the stand up in it game of the season. Like, this game and the Lincoln game should be your stand up in it games. Like, I'm telling you, this should be the games where you sitting over there third, fourth quarter, and you half drunk. You should really just be either drunk off success or whatever you want it to be. But this should be the game. Like, this team's run defense is anemic. And you got the worst run offense in the conference. Come on, man. And you got good backs. Look, I'm just saying, we should see the third stringers in the fourth quarter. Anything less than that is uncivilized. Like, it really is, though. Like, it's one of those games. Look, she ain't wrong. That's a long bus ride. It's a straight bus ride. Those are the worst. Like, statistically, that's why roads are like curved. Like, not to be a complete nerd about it, but I'm a nerd out on you on this one. Roads are not straight because people go to sleep. Like, if you don't believe me, go Google it. But that's the reason most roads are not just straight for hundreds of miles. people go to sleep. In this case, look, that long ride down I-10, buddy. I mean, the worst part is getting to Pensacola, but then it's a good flight though. Oh, they're gonna be there on the fan bus. Oh, just like it's Southern. Look, you're not wrong though. That's a long ride. But that ride to Southern is rewarding because once you get past Pensacola, it's nice. But this game here, man, the Rattlers gonna be in the house. They're gonna be doing some things. We're gonna be outside, as the little thing says, and it's gonna be interesting. And I think the unsung thing about this game is gonna be the fans. You got a lot of Rattlers. Look, Ms. Williams said it. Wayne said it right. We will be there on the bus like at Southern. He's right. There's a lot of Rattlers traveling to this game. I got family there right now. Like, oh yeah, we flew to Houston. I'm like, dang, I was playing too, but I changed my mind. But he's right. Willie should do whatever he wants in this game. But honestly, this is one of those games. Look, I know how Southern fans clown Prairie View fans. This gonna be one of those games. Like, do you remember that FAMU basketball game when FAMU played Texas Southern and we took over the gym? Like, just go back. If you don't want to believe me, it's okay. Don't take it personal. Go back and look when FAMU played Texas Southern last time in their basketball gym. Talk about come to your trap and take your trap, buddy. The Rattlers took over their basketball gym, and it wasn't close. Like, it was not close. This could be another one of those games where FAMU goes and takes over. Like, the 100 ain't going. I do feel some type of way about that. I normally don't care if the 100 doesn't travel, but only reason I kind of feel some type of way is because Texas Southern, last time we played them, they brought their band. So that's the only reason. And it's not even like me complaining or criticism. That's just, I just know the gentleman's code is normally the travel back and forth. But I understand the financial constraints. Like, I'm not one of those going to sit up here and tell y'all the band should go to every game and start. Look, there's a reason they stopped traveling so much. That's a lot of money. But at the same point, it is what it is. But in this game, FAMU should win. Going away. Now, make sure I give you my picks because y'all know I'm petty. Like, I talk trash sometimes, but yeah. Ooh, they got to get ready for. Oh yeah. You right. And like that's why I was like, and Ms. Williams said they got to get ready for homecoming. They do. Got to get your grades right. Got to get all your stuff straight. What's the old song? Ain't no half stepping. Oh, wait. FAMU by 40. He did that just for Coach Simmons. Y'all know Coach Simmons be watching. That's my dude. But my picks for this week, man. So, and y'all know I'm petty. I don't talk too much trash, but I sure do try to back it up. And I'm like Flash. It's lonely at the top. So this week, who I got North Carolina Central winning, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got North Carolina Central. I think they're gonna beat Morgan, honestly. I think that's gonna be a closer game than you would expect. I don't know what the spread is, but anything less than like 10 points, stay away from it. Yes, look, yes, sir, right. You already know. Some people ain't putting their picks in though, so it's a little bit of a asterisk there. But I would avoid that game, honestly, just because Morgan State, it's an emotional game. They're coming off homecoming. That could very well be an upset. Like if Brian were to ask me what game am I most concerned with as far as my pettiness and wanting to be right, that's it for my picks. I didn't pick Delaware State and South Carolina State because I picked South Carolina State last week, and them Busters, I should have kept my pick the way it was because I originally picked them to lose, and then the Jokers, I flipped it because I saw Tennessee Tech's offense was trash, and they lost and then Buddy Pugh hit us with the he hit us with the Dennis Green. They were what we thought they were, and he's talking about his team, and it's like trash. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, Howard Norfolk. I ain't gonna lie, I got Howard like at all. I can't trust him, Brian. I can't trust South Carolina State. Y'all on my dually list. I can't trust you at all. Granted, I think I got Southern. I did. North Carolina A&T and Richmond. North Carolina A&T can't score. Like honestly, let's keep this a buck. That could have been the worst firing that we've seen. Like I'm just saying, you fired a coach who was doing really well if you're A&T, and all of a sudden you getting that? I can't do it. I can't see it. Hampton, Delaware, I stayed away from that because Hampton's actually pretty good. Like they're better than you think they are, but it's Delaware. Like Delaware is just them fighting chickens, man. Something else. Jackson State and Valley. I don't know, man. I'm trusting Jackson State, even though I shouldn't. Last week they lost homecoming. Look, I like how Brian said that about Hampton though. Bounce back game. But I'm picking Jackson. I just think they got a little more in the tank than Valley does, even though Valley's got that high grass. And honestly, the trip from Itabena to Jackson is not that bad. Like I told y'all, I've been to Itabena. Once you get to Jackson, you're like, there's a God somewhere. Because this long ride is forever. Alcorn, Pine Bluff, I avoided that. I just don't trust Alcorn. Like Alcorn, sorry. I don't trust them. Even though I do think they're going to win that. Like I should have picked that one over probably Jackson. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Alcorn is going to do better. Tennessee State, Lincoln, come on, baby. She loves these. Look, that's my division too. Like, I'm sorry. You gonna offer it to me. I'm taking it. Like, that's, man, please. Southern Cookman, man, I don't trust Dooley as far as I can throw him. But, yeah. Ooh, the Valley folk in the A. Look, I ain't mad at you. I understand that. Look, I want to be wrong for that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. But why I don't trust Dooley, I just can't see Cookman winning. I think Sparrow's going to go for like 20 tackles, though. Like, that dude, he went to the Great Jones High School in Orlando, Florida. I'm biased. But, yeah, I got Southern by a little bit. Not a lot. And FAMU, Texas Southern, come on, baby. I've been riding the Rattlers all season long, man. I've been riding the Rattlers like a Georgia mule. Y'all think I'm going to turn my backs onto my Rattlers now? No, sir. I think FAMU has it largely because I think FAMU's got a better quarterback. I said position for position. I give it to you, and here we go. I got FAMU winning the game. I think position for position, we got it. Quarterback, FAMU. Running back, I'm going to go FAMU. Receivers, I'm going to go Texas Southern. Only because we had 17 drops in the last game. If we didn't have 17 drops, like, come on, man. So, see, yeah, Brian, you caught that. My tiebreaker. I had 73 points. Yeah. I'm a little high on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Offensive line, I'm going FAM. D-line, FAM. Everything else is FAMU, except for maybe the kicker. I think Texas Southern's got us on the kicker. So I think when you go by position, I think FAMU's better. I do have 73 points as my total, just because I think it's going to be tough to stop FAMU. Like, that's just me. I could be wrong. That's just me. It's just hard. It's hard for me to pull and say that FAMU is going to be different. Like, because at the beginning of the season, before Andrew Body got hurt, I had it 31-27, and my questions were I was gonna say was, can Texas Southern stop the run? Will Texas Southern establish the run? Will, te- will Texas Southern, what are they gonna do with Andrew Body? Well, Andrew Body's hurt. He's not playing. Their offense without him, it's interesting because it's a lot of they're still trying to chuck the ball, but you're still seeing that quarterback movement, quarterback run, which Body did. But then it's the other piece of it. Can FAMU establish the run? Like, that's $1,000 question, honestly. Like, can FAMU establish the run? Because if you can establish the run, honestly, if you just do par for the course, you're gonna get 200 yards. Like, just being honest. But if you can't establish a run against this team, you just can't establish a run. Like, this is the team. If you can't run against Texas Southern, you're not gonna be able to run against Lincoln. Like, this, I'm gonna say it. I would take West Florida's defense over Texas Southern's right now, and some of its schematics. Like, I ain't even lie to you. Like, yeah, drops were, man. Look, I mean, Houston weather is gonna be pretty much like Tallahassee weather from what I know, but at the same point, man, 17 drops, man. I ain't gonna say what I would say if you was my friends. I'm glad Jonathan ain't listening, boy. I said that joker couldn't catch crabs in some place. God done worked on me. But that's the only reason I would even consider Texas Southern's receivers better and can FAMU establish a run. And the other thing, are we going to get stubborn with Musa? Like, for me, as a fan, I'm going to say these are the things I really want us to do. One, protect Musa. And I don't mean just offensive line-wise, coaching-wise. Protect Musa. Like, sometimes take the blessed ball out of his hands. Let him run the ball. Get under center and let your offensive line maul their defensive line. They got 3. You add a tight end, you got 6. I'm just saying, you got 240 and 250-pound running backs that can get a head of steam behind 300-pound linemen. And the first line of engagement is 3 defensive linemen. And after that, 2 linebackers. And the halfback is the same size as some of the defensive linemen. My man, bruh, if you don't run the blessed ball and hit somebody, this could be a game where FAMU could hit 5 yards a carry, maybe more. And it's not going to be the first time that our backs have done that. But I'm just saying, this could be one of those games. Like, protect Musa, though. Like, it's not just about offensive line. No. Hey, signal caller, protect Musa. Other one, receivers, can't catch the ball because it's going to be tight zones. These might be the tightest zone. This might be the tightest zone defense that we see all season. Catch the dang gum ball. Like, real talk. Defensive line, just do what you do. Can the defensive line do what it's done all season long? And if it can, Gerald, my man, Gerald Thomason told y'all about Anthony Dunn. He been telling folks about that dude since the Classic. Anthony Dunn might go slap off. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't know if Major gets like the day he normally gets. He probably does as far as like tackles. But I mean, like, allowing him to walk up to the line and blitz and do some of that. I don't see a lot of that. But what I do see is FAMU's defensive ends are going to raise Cain. And then lastly, because the linebackers, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't discount them. I'm just not worried. They're so consistent. It's just like trying to find a place you just don't worry about. It's like Chick-fil-A. All right, FAMU linebackers are like Chick-fil-A. You go do it. Like, you're going to do everything just right. Like Chick-fil-A is so consistent. Somebody tell you that they got their order wrong at Chick-fil-A, and you be like, stop lying on God. Like, you're like, real talk. You go to Chick-fil-A like, man, I got some bad service. Hey, what you do to the Chick-fil-A people? Stop lying. Like, that's really how it goes. Like, FAMU's linebackers are just that freaking consistent. Secondary, though, that's the last place. I'm looking for you. Because special teams, y'all ain't earned my trust, but, I'm going to treat y'all like Burger King. Like, I'm going to order it. It might be right, it might not. But I'm a trust that it's going to be all right. But the secondary, man, can we get them turnovers? Like, if FAMU secondary can get 2 picks, man, please, my brother, that's going to be the move. My system. Look, what? I'm just saying. So, quarterback, protect the quarterback. Not just line-wise, but coaching-wise. Run the ball. Find a way to establish it. And then the back-end play. Because FAMU's D-line, honestly, it's a how long before they get there. And especially if Texas Southern's on the field as much as I think they're going to be, yeah, it's going to be some sacks. And we're going to get some strip fumbles. And there's going to be some shaking. And there's going to be some dancing. And there's going to be some loud FAMU fans. So, but man, some good times. Y'all saw our brothers' picks. I got one Division II team for all those keeping track. That's Southern. And Dooley, I don't trust. But, man, you lose that game. Look, if Dooley lose that game, he might be on the FAMU staff next year as a special teams coordinator. I'm just saying. And I'm not even being petty. I'm being honest. Y'all saw that lady? I know y'all seen that video with that lady in there. Oh, my goodness, that thing was funny. I'm going to have to find the video. It's got cursing in it. But that lady, fire! He needs to go. She was so drunk. If she could fire Dooley, she would have fired him right there. I feel bad for laughing at that lady's pain. But she was mad at it. And I was feeling her pain. Because I'd be mad if Willie Simmons did that too. You losing the game and you running the ball. What kind of dumb stuff is this? Then had the unmitigated guard to go to the press conference and defend it. Like, yeah, they showed us some looks, and we felt like running was just like passing. DFUQ? What? Brother, what the what? Brother defended it in the press conference. Anyways, let me stop for I see that man somewhere and he try to show me a fade. It's some Gucci's that I step on his shoes. I do you did not step on my shoes. I got to cut you. Let me find a good knife. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I ain't got them on. All right, y'all. So we go ahead out, y'all. HBCU Digital Network. This is home to her Sewer the Black Techies. Look, if you have not already check out the ONG Strike Zone. They are doing a watch party. So check them out, man. Check them out on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and also check out the website. You know, they're JBN, my JBN, you know, Black College Network. You know, go check them out. But also, look, check out HBCU Digital Network. Check out our Instagram page. Look, we have some nice graphics, you know, Facebook, Twitter, X, you know, we got the nice little graphics post game showing y'all, you know, we do a little something over here too. You know, it's all love though, always. So, but as always, y'all, it's gonna be Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!